everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome you in to Makers Monday number 36, when we come together and talk about stamping and what we've been doing and the newest creations and what's coming up in the Stamping Up world. Waiting for everybody to come in. Let me give a check here on the iPad. See if we've got connections. I think we have connections. All right, I have to turn this down. There we go. Yep, I can see myself over there. So hopefully we'll have some people showing up soon. For those of you watching this on replay or later, hi Shirley, thanks for popping in. My name is Laura Mester of Laura's Stamping Up Legacy Studio, and we do Makers Mondays occasionally, once or twice a month, to keep up with each other and inspire each other and keep an eye on what's going on. I will have a demo tonight, so as everybody gets in here, we will start that. But until it starts, I don't know about you all, but it's been a gorgeous day. What have you all been up to? I was thrilled. I had the windows open even. It's been a hot summer here, a hot buggy summer when it started. So you probably wouldn't have wanted the windows open for the noise of the bugs in the spring. But it was a beautiful day today, and I hope you all got out a little bit and had some fun. I know I've been working on the live and prepping for that, so I got out yesterday when it was nice as well. So this, of course, is an exciting time for Stamping Up people. It's happening twice a year now, but this is Celebration Eve. So our new catalog begins tomorrow, and Stamping Up has started this year 2 separate celebration periods in the year. So what that means is for every $50 you spend in product before tax and shipping. Hi, Tanya. Nice to see you. Hope you're feeling okay today. So when you spend that $50, you will earn free product from the Celebration catalog. So that's going to start tomorrow. So I'm all excited. I as a demonstrator, I placed pre-orders, and I placed another one today, ordering some of the designer series paper that was on sale and getting a few things. I actually just ordered the large stamp and die machine, stamp and emboss machine. So I'm really thrilled. Hi, Barbara. Great to see you. So anyway, yes, that starts tomorrow. So tomorrow I am going to create 2 host codes. As some of you know, some of you may not know, but Sharon's having a in-person workshop at her house August 14th. So I'll be creating a host code for that. Hi, Terry. Welcome in. So there'll be 2 separate host codes. One will be for anyone wanting to order in conjunction with Sharon's workshop, and then the other host code will be for just any other regular orders that come in this month. So watch for that tomorrow when this new catalog hits and is live for you to order from. So what else is going on? That's pretty much all I want to talk about before the demo. Unless you all have something to say. I know I asked you how you're all doing on this beautiful day. So, so just comment if you want and talk amongst yourself as I get settled to go down. I will do a little sneak peek, and this, of course, we're talking about Celebration. I can't show the inside, but most of you have your catalogs. So that's the catalog of the free product. And of course, this is the new catalog. So that's what we're talking about, and goes live finally for the customers tomorrow. And once I get done with the demonstration here, I will have a few little products to show you that you may or may not have seen yet, depending on if you've been to our Facebook rooms or not. So tonight, what I want to do, I think you all, I don't have an example of the card in here, but when I was away on retreat, I worked on some lovely Twilight blender brush card panels, and this was one of them, and I had forgotten to write down the colors, so I was sorting through that, and I had made a note that I wanted to talk about reverse masking. And when you make a blended card like this, I masked the area off on the top so that I could blender brush the green grass, and then I masked the bottom so you could blender brush the top. But when you do, whether it's the sun or the moon, this was a piece of circle paper, and that was on there, and that's reverse masking then. When you cover up your base color and you blend color around it in some manner, and then take off that mask to reveal the blank underneath or whatever would be underneath, that's considered reverse masking. So a couple techniques that we'll do. One is the blender brush, which I've done before, with straight from the stamp pads, and then the other would be the reverse masking. So they're very simple techniques, and if you don't have blender brushes, you can use sponges to do these. And if you don't have the bigger stamp pads or whatever, you could even just dot some re-inker on a block and use that. So there's various options you could do. So, but anyway, let's turn us down. Hang tight, everybody. Let me get my phone is acting slow today, so here we go. All right, let's see how we look. I'm working with this new desk that I have in here, and I think I have a more stable setup once I get us turned down. Huh? Try not to shake you too badly. Let's see how we are there. Not too bad. A little bit crooked. So if I think I'm supposed to go this way, maybe I'm supposed to go the other way. Let's see if that works. Well, at least you can see me. I'm a little bit, no, that went the wrong. See, it's always the opposite of what I think. So that made it more so. There we go. A little better. One more. I know if Sharon was on here, I was talking to my friends lately. One said that I'm precise. And then the other one flat out said I'm a perfectionist. I'm like, all right, we need to work on this. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So I already have a card panel. I just have a basic white panel under here. And I cut some masks. And honestly, if you're going to do a mask, you should almost use copy paper. I didn't. This is basic white. But the thinner, the better, because then you won't have a hard edge to what you're working with, to the design you're making. So what I have here are, this will be my rolling hills on the bottom, of course, will look like this. And this is my reverse mask of the moon, sun, whatever we think we're having. Probably the moon coming up. I decided I wanted to move the grass down a lot from this one. I figured there was way too much grass in this one. So I've brought the panel down some. So I've done the reverse of what the hill would be to, I'm masking off what the sky will be. So after I cut that out, so I have this taped down, and I did put some snail underneath so we don't move around. So when it comes to the colors, right now I'm just going to do the green grass, or the rolling hill, with the blender brush. And these clean out very easily. They're wonderful, wonderful. I'm wondering if these are still, they were either limited or back ordered, but you can still order them, our wonderful blender brushes. And they rinse out. I basically always use one for my red tones. I guess I didn't rinse that one enough. And then I use the other two for blue or green. So I'm going to go ahead and do the green. And the trick is just load up some ink. Doesn't take much. Tap it off. And then just come in on your paper and start moving it around. You want to get your green grass in there. And kind of the more squiggly and different you can make it look, the better. I was considering I might come back later with a different, this is Pear Pizzazz, and I might come in a little later with some Old Olive to try to put in some more texture into the grass. But for now, I didn't really plan this too much ahead of time, but I didn't want to get together with you and not show at least a demo. And that way, if you want to try to do something in between this and our next live, it might give you an idea. Either if you have brushes or if you have sponges, you could definitely try to do this. So So there's your grass, easy peasy. You can just decide how much you want, or how light or how dark. And I want to try to put just a little more dark in a couple areas so it doesn't look so uniform. There. Now I know one of the things when you're designing a card or planning something a little more creative like this is, like I said, I couldn't remember exactly what colors I had used on the first one. So I went and played with some colors just with a sponge real quick before I started. And this was my little sample I was working with. And I first tried Grapefruit Grove, Rich Razzleberry. And I'm trying to remember if that was Night of Navy. And I tried them and it didn't match up right for me. So then I went with Blushing Bride, Rich Razzleberry, and Misty Moonlight, which makes total sense. So, and I will tell you, as we're about to see here, it's really helpful if you're using the stamp pads to have the larger ones. It's especially useful for when you're doing stamps that are solid stamps, but it just helps to have a larger surface. So that's one reason to consider. I used to think, oh, I just need ink spots, not the large stamp pads. But you need different tools and different sizes for different techniques and things you want to create. So anyway, there's that. So you just want to go ahead and lift off. And just use some washi tape to block it. There we go. I could be, hold on, I always forget to do this, swiping this way. Oh, hi Sharon, I see you came in. Oh, you don't have to be brave with brushes. Brushes are fun. And you have lots of paper, so just if you mess up, So there's the hills. See how easy that was? And so here's the other part of the mask that has the reverse masking on it. And I'm going to have to and I really didn't plan this ahead of time. It's always a little different each time you do it. So I'm going to need some more of the washi tape. And when you do this, you want to have, if you put it right on it, you're going to have a little white halo there. You've got to kind of just go a hair the other way. And honestly, I think my moon should probably be underneath. Can I switch it? Hold on. Let's take our little moon and put it underneath, because I think it needs to be closer down. I have a little snail on this little moony here, little adhesive, so it sticks. And put a little more. So put this on the bottom, because you're thinking about what the connection is, how tight it is to the paper beneath it as you're working. So, and like I'd said in the beginning, if you weren't here, typically you would use copy paper, because then there would be less of a shelf there to interrupt the flow. But when you put this down, you want to just see the barest amount of that green. You'd like to see it so that it helps with the blending, because if you are right on top of it so you can't see it, you'll end up with a little white barrier line in between the two, which you don't want that. That's going to just not be. I'm going to tape this down. I already did put adhesive underneath my other panel. So I've lost the end of my tape. Don't you hate that, girls? Who's the washi tape queen out there? I don't have as much as most people do. And I basically just use it for taping down anymore. So my moon's hidden. Can't see it, but it's there. So now we're going to use the other three colors. And like I'd said, I have, there's a little bit of Blushing Bride. And then there's Rich Razzleberry. And then there's Misty Moonlight. So Misty Moonlight is my little one. And I wish I had a big one. And it's on my wish list right now. Okay. So what I'm going to do, this is the pink. I'm going to use the pink for both the pink and the purple. I'm just going to use different edges of it for that. And then the blue for that. I could do the purple and then probably do the blue. But to get my right colors, sometimes I want to be actively adding into the different layers. So, all right, let's get the pink. Don't need a whole lot of pink. Need a lot of blue, which of course is my smaller one. Let's see, this is my pink. Okay, and just come right in from the side and come in a little bit. And just work it. I don't see much there yet. Remember, you're going to be blending into this, so if you go up a little bit, it doesn't really matter because you can bring your purple down into it. I think I want a little bit more just right above the moon. Just swirl it around. You don't really have to have pressure. Just got to let the color come off. So for now, I'm going to go with that. That was the pink. I'm going to put a little of the purple on the back of that pink. And then I'm going to bring it in like this and come up a little bit with it. It might have been a little dark, but it's nice if it looks a little different. Right there, I'm not too happy with that, so I'm going to have to work. I'll probably work some pink in with that later on. So now where's my blue? There's my little blue. So let me get a little of him going. Misty Moonlight. Okay, and bring that in. But it's kind of nice if it looks texturized and not too uniform. So I tend to almost do like figure eights with mine, actually. I've seen a lot of people just swirl like that. If I swirl in a circle, where'd my blue go? I might have just put pink on there. Let's not get confused. Let's take the pink down for now. And this is the purple. And when you have all your stamp pads open, unless you've put your other color in there, you can lose track of which one's which color. I've done that. But bring your, and I like to do a figure eight because it kind of leaves room for some white areas. I went very dark with this one. Now I'm wondering if it was Misty Moonlight. Maybe it was a different color. It'd take a while, but I think you're seeing the pattern here. So that one I touched too quickly. You see how it got really dark there? But I can work with that and make it come in. You just really got to keep at it. But I do want this to go quite dark, so it might take a while. Because I was on retreat, so I had time to play with it. But that's the thing about when you start getting too quick and you don't stamp off properly, you might end up with that. And you can correct it, but it's going to take a little time. But you just got to work with it. And then it'll look like a different part of the picture. So, but there's some blue, and I'll go back later and correct that. I'll show you in a picture. But I think the bottom needs just a little bit more purple where the blue comes to it. Just always at least once tamp off. Okay. And every sunset's a different color. That's the great thing about it. Or every moonrise. There's no perfect. And then I think I want a little more of the pink. Okay. Okay, there's the pink. There's that. And where was the blue? One more blue. That's going to drive me crazy, but it's okay. It'll all look good when it ends. Maybe I'll end up putting a cloud up there. I do have some cloud things. So down in we go. Bring a little of that blue down into the purple. See how it changes that? Okay, let's just call that done. I know I'm going to work with this again later because I'm not happy with it. You're right. I should leave it alone, right, Sharon? Okay, so there's that for now. And that's the blending that we're going to do. Let me just close this up so we don't get ink too much of anywhere we don't want the ink to be. So, and then you can pick any, I have some stamps here from a paper pumpkin, but you can pick any branches or trees or something that you want to be your silhouette. You can even do flowers if it's a different landscape. So when we pull this up, voila, hey, it worked. It shouldn't sound surprised, right? So, and then you'll have to twist a little bit on your, that snail is going to hold it pretty tightly. But if I twist it, it will come up. There we go. So there is our sunset or moonrise. I do have we don't sell them. I wish we did. But I have a white pigment pen, and I just do little dots of that to make stars. I don't have it with me at the moment, but I don't believe we have a white marker. We have a white chalk marker, but I'm not sure it would be small enough. But that's how I did my little stars, just to let you know. So, and then I wanted to put something in the foreground here. So I went to this paper pumpkin, which was Here's to You in March 2021. For those of you that got the paper pumpkin, it was this one. So I probably still have some of these little trees, but I was going to stamp to show you a few stamping techniques. But so I pulled that out. But any tree or a branch or something you could put across there as a, we have several in the catalog now. But I just grabbed this one because it was the right size. So, and I grabbed some, where's my ink? This is the Evening Evergreen. You can use black, but really I think using a really dark brown or dark green, whatever it is you're stamping, what would be appropriate, that's what I would use. So, almost looks like a Teletubby landscape. Who remembers Teletubbies out there? I hope we haven't lost everybody. Someone say something. I'm not seeing any comments anymore. I see you're out there. I am inking up. This is a solid stamp. Hi, Sharon. And solid stamps can be tricky with small stamp pads. I was talking to Sharon about this earlier as I was working on the cards for her workshop, because part of the squirrel is solid. So you really have to ink it up good with these little ones. So that looks good. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you can even see by looking at it. So I'm going to put this right about here. Let's hope that went good. You don't have to push so hard. What you're doing, if you can see me holding here, is you're just waiting for the ink to transfer. All right, that came out pretty good. Let me do one thing here. Let me turn this over just to activate my foam a little bit more, because then it's directly to it instead of to the covering. And then, yeah, okay. So I think I want a little more tree right there, which would be the little one. So as you can see, I just want this little one. I'm not worried what's happening beside it. So just trying to get that really solidly inked. Kind of hard to do because it starts to pick back up off it. Solid stamps like this are usually best on your Stamparatus. I have my Stamparatus all loaded up for Sharon's party already, so I wasn't going to mess with that. I have to go away in a few days, so I wanted to make sure I was all ready. Oh, that looks kind of nice. And then I want to put some on the other side. So that's the deal with these solid. When you have a solid stamp, and we do have something like this, don't be afraid of them. If you have a Stamparatus, that's your best friend. If you have the larger size stamp pads, definitely use those instead, because they're going to ink much better. It's just the surface of these has more texture to it than the surface of the large stamp pad. So I see that makes a big difference. So one set here, and then we'll be done. And I could have moved the grass up more on here, but I just wanted more of the sky, and I'm not quite sure what I'll end up doing with this panel. If you look on my page, or if you saw the other ones, I blocked off, so those came out nice and dark. So, but that's okay. Trees are different. Some are light. These are closer. Maybe they're getting lit by something. Maybe they got eaten by the woolly adelgid bug, or too many cicadas came and trimmed their leaves. But anyway, that's my sunset card for tonight. My little demo for you. While we're down here, I can show you. I said I'd sneak peek you a few things. So since I can still read comments. Oh, there's the comments. Hi, Sarah. I was missing all the comments. For some reason, it won't keep showing me. Yes, I am a perfectionist. That's right, Tanya. You made one with me. Trees are beautiful. If you're not a tree lover, is killing me. I am going to convert you. I swear. But I clean my stamps. So, that's the, if you have some sponges or some brushes, I'm going to challenge you to try to do some sort of reverse masking. I've seen cute ones where they just do like a big circle and they pretend like it's the sun rising or something, or just be creative with it, or just copy what I did, or case what I did is what they call it. But that's basically, I just wanted to show you something. And that's when they talk about the masking like that. Regular masking is masking off one area, but just the circle part there, and then you remove it to show the clear. That's what's considered reverse masking when someone says that. So, but real quick, what's next? The designer series paper sale is ending tonight. So if there was any, and I should have thought about this because I just placed an order, so I could have added you guys in, but I wasn't thinking. I needed more of the Beauty of the Earth paper, and it's only $9 right now as opposed to 11 something. So I went ahead and put a little order in. But if there's anything you wanted paper-wise, this will end tonight. But I know a lot of you took advantage of that already, which was great. Celebration starts tomorrow. We already talked about that. And all the wonderful stuff in the catalog. Most of you have your catalogs. The products I was going to sneak peek, you may have seen already. This is the Nuts About Squirrels stamp set. And this is one of the cards that Sharon's going to have at her party. I think some of you have probably seen this. So this is our little squirrel card. Just adorable. This highlights not only the squirrel stamp set, it also highlights the bark embossing folder, which is in the new catalog. Just love it. I love this. I didn't realize how much I would love this until I started using it. Because it's a neat background, no matter what. I mean, it's just a textured background. So that's really cool. And then, of course, this is the paper, which isn't in the new catalog. It's in the annual new catalog that came out. But this is where I got the designer series paper. This is the Beauty of Nature, Beauty of the Earth. So I used this in both of Sharon's cards, actually. I used it on the back of the envelope for her. This is her other one, is the Christmas one, which has the evergreen panel. And I used a little bit of the blue designer series paper on the inside of that card and on the back of the envelope for this one. But these are, that's the other thing coming up. Sharon's party is the 14th. If you want to be in, make sure you go and RSVP that you're coming. I think we have 3 or 4 seats left. Noon on August 14th. And these are the 2 make and takes that we're going to do. So, woohoo, we're going to have fun. Why is my... Okay. Keep trying to see your comments and it's fighting me. I really like the squirrel. That turned out good. And your suggestion was wonderful, Sharon. I'm going to listen to you. One more quick thing that's new, of course. Those of you that came to the room saw this. This is that set of paper. It's called Sweet Stockings, I think. What's the name of this one? Sweet Stockings, yeah. This is in the catalog going live tomorrow. This is adorable. This is Christmas paper, obviously. I don't want to get any ink on this. But just adorable. Little mouse carrying a package. The dog, the cat. I'm going to block my... Might as well take it out of the thing. I'll get it back in. Okay. There's the dog sheet. This one's adorable. And this is a whole suite. There's stamp set. There's the dies. Just so cute. This one kills me. The cat, it's got flat ears. It's not happy it was put in that stocking. Can't imagine it would be. I think Sharon's got us covered for everything there. And the little mouse, but they even got a guinea pig, which you don't see that often. Little corgi. Oh, I just love this paper. And then here's one that's just the stockings, which of course will look great with the dies, I'm sure. Oh, I missed one. Hold on. This one, the wreaths. Oh, it's even got a bird. I tell you, there is every pet in the world in here that you can think of. It's not just dogs and cats. There's your adorable stockings. And this one has the fish in it. I just nuts. We were having fun looking this during the Facebook room. And I like this one. This coordinates with an older set that was out a couple Christmases ago. And then, of course, the backgrounds. There's always very, very nice backgrounds. Neutrals, not really neutrals, but coordinated papers. And I know we all have Christmas paper, but we don't have this Christmas paper, so you better get this Christmas paper. I think it's going to be going fast. So, just really nice. So, and one more sheet. So that's the few sneak peeks we're going to do there. The one more thing also coming up. What is today? Today's the 2nd, of course. So the 10th is when you have to be signed up for this paper pumpkin if you were interested in it. This is the Hope Box. It's a neat concept. It's a little different. I didn't really read through it before, but when I read through it, it's your Hope Box. So you can do it as an inspiration for yourself to remind us of why life is precious. So you can keep treats and trinkets that represent what hope means to you in your Hope Box. So it can just be for you, or you can do this and give it to a friend that might be going through a rough patch. So it kind of reminded me, I have a remembrance box of things that my mom had sent me, or just, maybe something from their 50th wedding anniversary, or so I've actually created a bigger box now for both mom and dad stuff to be kind of together. It's not everything by any means, but it's just a few things for a remembrance. So this is a slight turn on that concept. It of course has cards in it and all that, the normal what you used to be doing. You're going to create 9 cards and envelopes. But when you're done, then they're suggesting you transition it into a hope box for yourself or for someone else. So this, we hadn't talked about it really yet, but this is the theme of the paper pumpkin that's coming to a closure for its ordering period. But let me turn you all up. I think I read your comments more when I have you up. Have we dissolved into recipes for vodka drinks? I'll stay out of that discussion. Vodka is not my liquor of choice. So, I'm upside down. That's better. Anybody left? Oh, good. A few of you are still here. So if you have any questions, what do you have to have, Sharon? Oh, gosh, I'm really pushing you guys around. Tequila? Oh, okay. I'm with you there. What else did we have to talk about? Oh, Sharon's party we talked about. The next live is August 23rd. Gosh, I can't believe we're thinking of school and the end of August and all that already. And our next Facebook room will be August 28th. So that's all the things on deck. I hope you enjoyed the demo tonight. I know we've talked about that before, but oh, you got to have the pet paper. Well, we talked about that. You're going to have that for sure. But thank you all for coming in tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, keep an eye on, I'll put it in both the group and on the official page, but I'll create those host codes tomorrow if you're going to be ordering tomorrow. And the one that's created for Sharon's party, even if you order tomorrow, it would still credit her on the party because the host code would go that long. So you don't have to wait for the party to put your order in case you're worried about items getting limited. I'll try to keep track of that as we go to let you know if anything's limited or not. So, but thank you for coming in. I think we went long. I just kind of prattled on and didn't plan tonight so well. Hold me accountable, girls. But I'm here if you need anything. If you need any help, just let me know. Later, Gator, for sure. And then until we're together again, create something, have fun doing it, and share it. so we all get inspired by what you do. So see you all later. And if you want to register for Sharon's party, look for it and do an RSVP. It's on the events in our group. Good night, everybody. Go have a drink of that tequila, Sharon.